Every time something happens politically that may involve a populist uprising, the liberal media kick into gear to quickly inform you that anybody who agrees with this is thick, stupid and evil. So after Nigel Farage stated he was going to stand for reform in Clacton, everyone's favourite left-wing liberal lovies, PoliticsJoe, scrambled down there leaving their soy lattes and craft beers half drunk to go and sneer at the local people. And in this clip, which is doing the rounds online, they are desperately trying to show this person as an evil racist idiot, but I personally think he defends himself quite well.
I'm an Englishman in England and I don't feel like I'm an Englishman in England. Let's have it right. And I'm not afraid to say so.
What do you feel like?
I'm fed up with it. I feel like a foreigner in my own country. That's what I feel like. And do you think that's fair?
Tell me why. Why do you feel that way?
Well, because we're surrounded by foreigners. That's why.
Here?
Not in Clacton. Why do you think everyone's moving out of London to move to seaside towns? Do you think they want to?
Now, despite the interviewer trying to catch him out by sneering at him, saying he feels surrounded by foreigners in Clacton, he quite cleverly points towards London, where he's from. Judging by his accent, he's probably from East London. And the data does back up what this guy is saying. In 2001, London as a whole was 60% white British. 20 years later, it's only 37%, and that's London as a whole. East London's even worse. Now, the classic leftist comeback here is that East London's always had immigration, and it's a real sleight of hand now, because yes, it has had immigration, but in very manageable numbers. We're talking tens of thousands over centuries. The Irish, the Italians, the Europeans and so forth were largely Christian people who heavily integrated into the society over the years.
Do you think you've been left behind?
100%. Of course we have. And do you know what? I'm quite fair. I don't care who you are, but there needs to be fairness. Yeah, like, you know, there's no fairness here. We've got no voice.
And is he wrong about that? Do our liberal mainstream ever listen to the concerns of the white working class? Of course they don't, and we also know if the same thing was happening on the same scale to some tribe in Indochina, the liberals would be all over it, calling it some form of neo-colonization. Yeah, what's really sad about this is what comes next, in that this man feels he has to justify his opinions as not being a bad person through the eyes of the liberal elite.
No one wants to talk about it, that's the problem.
I want to talk about it.
You know, you get branded a racist. My wife's from Calcutta, yeah? I've got half-caste cousins. You're not politically correct, you've got to say mixed race. But I've brought up the old way, you know, mixed race people was called half-caste, yeah? I've got black friends, I've got all sorts of friends. But as soon as you say anything, they want, and being called a racist now is so boring. I'll tell you that much, it's boring. So you call me what you like, throw what you like at me, but that being labelled a racist is actually boring now. Proper boring, all right? I say, have you got nothing mature to say that branding someone a racist?
Now this man is of course right, and he's not a bad person, but he's been conditioned to learn that saying things like, I've got black friends, will send progressives into an apoplectic rage about how racist he really is. But most importantly, why does he and anyone else have to constantly justify themselves as not a racist in the first place? You're allowed to have your own opinions without trying to clear your name in Britain, or at least you're supposed to. And no, the blue head censors, I don't hate anybody for having a different skin colour to me, or worshipping a different god, or coming from a different country. My point is that you shouldn't have to justify your opinions, which are completely valid all the time, through the frame of a liberal bias. And this liberal purity filter is exactly what we need to remove from our daily life as British people. It's held sway on us too long. We're not immoral, we're not evil for wanting to limit mass immigration and have control of our own country. These are just my thoughts, however. Do let me know what you think down below, and do consider subscribing to the channel.